Okay, so if you have, suppose, a point here, Pxy, and if I want to reflect this point in the point mirror, and the point mirror here is the origin. Okay, so what I'll do is, with the help of a straight line, I'm going to join these 2 points, preferably a dotted line. Okay, and now I'm going to measure this distance here. Okay, so once I've measured this distance, I'll produce this line up to the same distance. To get a point here. And this point will be the image of P in the origin. It's denoted by P dashed. And the coordinates of this will be minus x minus y. So therefore, when I reflect a point Pxy in the origin, the image of this point will be P dashed. You change the sign of the x coordinate and you also change the sign of the y coordinate. Okay, so this is the transformation that you must remember. Okay, let us take example. Suppose I want to reflect the point P23 in the origin. So the coordinates of the image will be, you change the sign of the x coordinate and you change the sign of the y coordinate. This will be your coordinate. -4, -1. If this is your point, you want to reflect this in the point mirror, which is the origin. To get, you change the sign of the x coordinate and you change the sign of the y coordinate also. Suppose I take another point 2, -3. I want to reflect it in the origin. I'll get a point, change the sign of the x coordinate from +2 to -2, and change the sign of the y coordinate from -3 to +3. This point you want to change, you want to transform after reflection in the origin, change the sign of the x coordinate, and 0 will remain as it is. Okay, so that is how we reflect a point in the origin. Now the question is how to reflect a point on another point as a point mirror. Okay, this is a general case. We'll be actually be discussing this case later on in detail when we'll be discussing section formula. But for the time being, I have already actually discussed this with you, that suppose if I have a point Pxy and I want to reflect this in this point M. Okay, then how am I going to reflect it? First of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to join these 2 points with the help of a straight line. And then I'm going to measure this distance. Okay, PM. And then I'm going to produce this line up to the same distance as PM. Okay, to get my image here, P dashed. Okay, so that means PM must be equal to MP. So you measure this distance, it must be equal to this distance. That means M must be the midpoint of the line segment PP dashed. That is how we reflect. This one you have to remember. Okay. Now this point can be the origin, M can be the origin also. In case of origin, I have already shown you what the transformation is. But in case of any other point, then you will have to use something called as a midpoint formula, which will be uh, discussing in section formula after this. Okay. So let us now move on to some of the problems on reflection. This notes I had sent you yesterday. Okay. If you see this question, it states use graph paper for this question. The coordinates of A, B, C, and D are given to you, are the vertices of a quadrilateral. So A, B, C, D forms a quadrilateral. And then you have the questions. Name the quadrilateral A, B, C, D, and so on and so forth. Okay. Now see here, first you will have to decide the scale of the graph. Now you see the coordinates here, A11, X coordinate is 1, Y coordinate is 1, X coordinate 5, Y coordinate 1, X coordinate 4, Y coordinate 2, and X coordinate 2, Y coordinate 2. So that means X extends till 5 because the maximum value of X coordinate here is 5, and Y extends only till 2. Okay, so now when you're doing your when you are drawing your scale in the graph, two kinds of graph papers, two kinds of options you'll get while drawing the scale. The first is this option where you have your scale from 1 till 9 in the x-axis, and another you have from 1 till 9 in the y-axis, right? You can use this graph paper because I have the, what is the extreme coordinate here? Extreme coordinate of x here was x is equal to 5, and x is equal to 5 you are not getting in this scale. In this scale you are getting only till 4, right? X coordinate. So therefore we are going to use this graph paper. Okay, so let's use this graph paper. Fine. So this is, we'll write the scale here first on the top right hand corner in the boxes along x-axis. One smallest division is equal to, you have 5 divisions as 1 unit. Therefore, one division will be 1 by 5, which is 0.2 unit. And similarly, you have along y-axis also. 0.2 unit. Or you can simply write this as along x and y axis. Okay, let's write it this way only. Along x and y axis, one smallest division is equal to 0.2 unit. Because in coordinate geometry, you take the scale of x and y same. Okay, you cannot take different scales in the x and the y axis. We're not drawing a histogram. We are not drawing a, you know, a frequency polygon. Okay, so that is why keep the scales the same in the x and the y axis. This is the basic rule of coordinate geometry, that the scale in the x axis and the scale in the y axis have to be the same. Okay, now let us plot the points. Once we have drawn the graph according to scale, we'll plot our points. So first point is A11. So A11 is here. Okay. Next point is B51. B51, if you plot, it will be here. Right? C42. C4 and 2. This is your point. And the fourth point you have D22. 22 is here. Okay, so 4 points you are getting. We join these 4 points. With the help of a straight line, you join the 4 points. So that answers the first question. Name the quadrilateral ABCD. If you see, the quadrilateral ABCD here is a trapezium, right? So your first answer is that the quadrilateral ABCD is a trapezium. That answers the first question. Second question is, if A dash, B dash, C dash, and D dash are the images of A, B, C, and D respectively when they are reflected in the origin. Okay, so A, B, C, and D are reflected in the origin. Then locate them on the graph sheet and write their coordinates. Okay, that means you have to write their coordinates and also plot them on the graph. So you'll write the coordinates A. The coordinate of A is 1, 1. When A 1, 1 is reflected in the origin, you know the transformation A dashed, the image of A, change the sign of the X and the Y coordinates. Similarly, B coordinate is 5, 1. When reflected in the origin, it becomes B dashed minus 5 minus 1. C, the coordinate is 4, 2. Becomes C dashed minus 4 minus 2. And finally D, we have 2, 2. When reflected in the origin, the image is D dashed minus 2 minus 2. And you got to represent these images also in the graph sheet. So first we plot A dashed. A dash is minus 1 minus 1. So minus 1 is here. Right, A dashed minus 1 minus 1. Next is minus 5 minus 1, which is B dashed. So minus 5 and minus 1 will be here, which is your B dashed minus 5 minus 1. Okay, next is C minus 4, C dash minus 4 minus 2. Minus 4 and minus 2 be here. Okay, and finally you have D dash minus 2 minus 2. Minus 2 minus 2 will be here. Minus 2 minus 2. And now you can join this just to show that this is the image. So if you see this quadrilateral that you get, A dash, B dash, C dash, D dash, this is the image of this quadrilateral in the origin. Okay. So that is what we have done. That completes the second part of the question. Okay. Now the question is, are D, A dash and D dash collinear? Now you see that from the graph. So the points are D, A dashed. Point D is here. Okay. The point A is here. Okay. And A dashed and D dashed. A dashed is here. And D dashed. D dashed is this point. So are these collinear? Yes, you see that you can join them with the help of a straight line. So therefore, these 4 points are collinear. So your answer here is yes, D, A dashed and D dashed are collinear. D, A dashed and D dashed are collinear because they are on the same straight line. Okay, that answers the third question. Fourth question is find the area of the quadrilateral ABCD. Okay, this quadrilateral that you have obtained here, you need to find out the area of this quadrilateral. So how do you find out? How do you find out the area of a trapezium? The formula is half sum of the parallel sides into the height. So what is the height of this parallelogram here? The height of this parallelogram, if you see, this is the height, right? If you see this height is from 1 to 2, this height is 1 unit, right? Or if you agree, this is 1 unit. So height we have got. Now we find out the length of the parallel sides. So this parallel side from 1 to this, what is the length here? 5 minus 1, which is equal to 4 units. So this is 4 units, right? And what is the length of the other parallel sides? This. So what is the length here? 4 minus 2, which is 2 units, right? So therefore, area of the trapezium ABCD write the formula first, half into sum of
parallel sides into height.
the length of parallel sides into height. Now you write what are the parallel sides here? Equal to half. If you see in the diagram, the parallel sides are AB and CD. Right here, AB and CD. AB plus CD into, and the height here is 1 unit. So you can directly write 1 unit here. And now you can put the values of AB and CD. The length of AB is 4 units. The length of CD is 2 units. So 4 plus 2 into 1. So this is half into 6, which is equal to 3 square units. Right? So this is the area of the trapezium. Okay. I hope this is clear. Any question here?
No, sir.
Can move on to the next problem then. Okay. The next problem here is use graph paper for this question. Take 10 small divisions is equal to 1 unit on both the axes. Now here you don't have to decide the scale. They have already given you the scale. The scale is 10 smallest divisions you have to take is equal to 1 unit. Okay, so 10 smallest divisions obviously here in this graph paper, 10 smallest, this five divisions is equal to 1 unit in this, right? So you cannot use this. So therefore 10 divisions is equal to 1 unit means we are going to use the other graph sheet. You make your scale accordingly here in the graph sheet. This is the graph. This is the kind of scale that you are going to make, because here 10 divisions. This is 10 divisions. This is equal to 1 unit. Okay. So this is what we are going to use here, this graph sheet, and we are going to write the scale here. Is equal to 1 unit. Okay. Now what you will do is you will write this here at the bottom. Okay, because since I don't have space, that is why I have crossed, but you will keep it in the checked lines. Okay, you will write it within the boxes, the scale. Fine. So once you have written the scale, now we proceed with the problem. Plot the points P32 and Q minus 3 minus 2. Okay, so let's plot the points P32. This is my point P32. And you need to plot the point Q also, minus 3 minus 2. Minus 3 and minus 2. Plot it here. Q minus 3 minus 2. From P and Q, draw perpendiculars PM and QN on the x-axis. So from P, you are required to draw perpendicular. So with a scale and a pencil, you draw a perpendicular here on the x-axis. So this is your PM. This point becomes your M. And also you have to draw a perpendicular from Q on the x-axis. So from Q, you draw a perpendicular. Okay. Fine. Next is, first question is, name the image of P on reflection in the origin. So what is the image of P on reflection in the origin? Number 1, P32. P32 when reflected in the origin becomes, what are the coordinates? Minus 3, minus 2. And if you see, the minus 3, minus 2 is nothing but Q. So the image of P32 on reflection in the origin is q minus 3 minus 2. We would have written p dashed, but because q is already available, so that is why we have written q. Okay, next question. Assign a special geometrical name to the figure PMQN. So what you do is you join all the points. This is your point Q here. Okay. Let me write Q here. Q. So you join this, all the 4 points, you get a quadrilateral. Okay. So this is a quadrilateral. What is the name of this quadrilateral? Now, if you see here, may look like a rectangle also, but if you see the angle here is greater than 90 degree. This angle is 90 degree. That means obviously this angle will be greater than 90 degree, right? And this angle will also be greater than 90 degree. That means interior angles are not all 90 degree. That means it is definitely not a rectangle, right? And what you also see is that this is parallel to this, and this is parallel to this. So the interior angles it is, and also if you see the opposite sides are not equal, right? That means you have this is your n. Okay, you see Pn and Qm are equal, and Qn and Pm are equal. Opposite sides equal, but adjacent sides are not equal. So that means that it is not a square also definitely. That means the only option that is left is it must be a parallelogram. So you write the quadrilateral PMQN is a parallelogram. This is a parallelogram. Okay. And second question only, this next part is find its area. Okay, so how do you find out the area of a parallelogram? Now you see that the area of this parallelogram, this is a right angle triangle here, right? PMN. And also you see that this is also a right angle triangle, QNM. So PNM and QNM are both right angle triangles. If I want to find out the area of this parallelogram, I can find out the area of these two right angle triangles, add them, and I will get the area of the parallelogram. So let's
Yes,
write
sir.
this. Area of parallelogram PMQN is equal to area of triangle PNM and QNM. Okay. Now first, area of triangle PNM. Base and height. MN is the base, PM is the height. PM plus half. If you see the other triangle, the lower triangle, MN is the base and QN is the height. This is the area of this triangle, of this lower triangle. Now let's calculate the length. MN. What is the length of this? What is the length of this part? If you see from this part to this part, what is the length? This is 3 units. So what are the coordinates of this? This is 3, 0, right? Coordinates of M. And what are the coordinates
Yes,
of
sir.
N? Minus 3, 0, right? So
Zero.
if you see from this to this, the length is 3 units, right? And
Yes,
also
sir.
from this to this, what is the length? Again, 3 units. So what is Mn? Mn is 6 units, 3 plus 3. So you write here 6 units into. Now these arrows, all this I'm drawing only to show you. You will not draw this on your graph paper. Okay. All this I'm only doing only to show you. Your graph paper will only contain this quadrilateral, this parallelogram, along with the coordinates written. So Mn we have found. Next we need to find out this height. What is this height? from this to this. What is the length here?
Sir, 2.
2 units. Okay, so this is 2 plus half into, again mn we have found out to be 6, and qn, this length is again 2 units, right? So this is 2, so which is equal to, can cancel here, which is 6 plus 6 equal to 12 square units. Fine. So that is the area of the parallelogram. Okay, that finishes the second question. Next is third question. Write the coordinates of the point to which M is mapped on reflection in the x-axis, y-axis, and origin. Okay, so first of all, we'll write the coordinates of M. Coordinates of M. From the above graph paper, you see that the coordinates of M is 3, 0.
0.
Now 3, 0. First, M 3, 0, we want to reflect in the first part of the question was x-axis. How do you reflect it in the x-axis? Say M dash is the image. When reflection in the x-axis, which coordinate changes? The
3.
x coordinate remains the same. The sign of the y coordinate changes, right? So therefore, you get 3, 0, which actually is equal to the same point, 3, 0. How is this possible? 3, 0. The image of, because see, the point M30 lies on the mirror line itself. So object distance and image distance are 0 almost, right? So therefore, you are getting here the image of M as M dashed, which is the same as M, right? So the coordinates of the object and the coordinates of image are the same because the point lies on the mirror line. Such a point here, M and M dashed and the image of M have the same coordinates. Okay, remember, such a point is called an invariant point. Such a point is called an invariant point. Remember this definition. Whenever the object coordinates of the object and the coordinates of image are same, such a point is called an invariant point. Okay. Next, you need to reflect M30 in the y-axis. How do you reflect this in the y-axis? In this, the y coordinate remains unchanged. Let us call this M double dashed. Okay. The y coordinate remains unchanged, so I'll keep the y coordinate as it is, and I'll only change the sign of the x coordinate. Now you see, if you see in the graph, -30 is the point N. So you can write this as N -30. So the coordinates of M when reflected in the y-axis is nothing but the point N. Okay. That is your finishes part B of the question. And the third part is, I think, the origin. Yes, has to be reflected in the origin. Now this is something very easy. 30 when reflected in the origin. Let us say I get an image M triple dashed. How do you reflect? You change the sign of the x coordinate and you change the sign of the y coordinate also. So what you see here, again, you are getting the point N. Okay. Now these points, they have asked you in the question just to write the coordinates. If you see, write the coordinates of the point to which M is mapped on reflection in the x-axis, y-axis, and the origin. You just have to write the coordinates. You don't have to plot them on the graph paper. Okay. So once you have written the coordinates, your answer is over. Clear? In fact, these are already plotted, and you are getting the image as N, and M is on reflection in the x-axis. You are getting back the point M. So all these points are actually plotted on the graph already. Okay, so you don't need to plot them again. So therefore, that finishes this question. Okay, so I'll stop here then.
Okay, sir.